Welcome back, Guardians. Gemini here again, and IGN has released yet another Destiny 2 video. This time it's regarding the story and how it's deeply woven into the game to create an immersive experience. The interview is with senior narrative lead Jason Harris and cinematic lead Matthew Ward, and they discuss with IGN about how they create the story of A World Without Light. And since IGN has the first scoop on all things Destiny 2 this month, I'll leave the link to this video in the descriptions below. Let's begin. I'm sure we can all remember what Destiny 1 lacked when it first released. That story for those who are new to the Destiny world. Both Jason and Matthew affirm that Bungie has been working hard since the start of Destiny on world building, meaning that now they have all the tools in place to tell the story in Destiny 2, which is what we're all waiting for, and I'm stoked about this part. I have so many questions on the lore and backstories of so many characters and themes that were first introduced in Destiny 1, and even though lots of hints and clues were given, this time we can get the answers and confirmations we've patiently waited for. So yeah, that's a big perk for us. Next, Jason and Matthew mention how in Destiny 1's vanilla, the story and premise was set around the Traveler, and that in all the DLCs that came after, the Traveler was no longer the focal point in those stories. This time in Destiny 2, the focal point of the story is the Traveler and the Light. They go on to say that the story is created with a sense of purpose and progression in mind. So if Destiny 1 was the methodical heartbeat that was supposed to support the experience, then Destiny 2 is the heartbeat of someone over at a fitness center. In that context, it must mean that we're in for a lot of action and storytelling. This pretty much confirms to me that all the worries of the lack of story in Destiny 1 is a thing of the past, and that they have so much to build upon in regards to story and lore in the game. Finally, they go in the ingredients of making the story relatable by giving us character motivations. How each character will have their reason to continue forward in the story, in turn making their motivation relatable to us. This goes back to the whole purpose and progression part of the story building, where we're asked what it means to be Guardians and what it means to be chosen to wield the light. This story arc is centered on how we as Guardians have to deal with losing our powers. It's kind of like being Superman, where you lose your powers and have to live among the humans, only now we get to see how our favorite characters interact with each other and us since we lost our connection to the light. This is some great storytelling, and I can't wait to see how this turns out for us. So to summarize, Destiny 1 was the foundation of lore and story that Destiny 2 will now propel into. Think about it. We now are going to be going into the whole story of the Traveler, which we didn't go too deep into in Destiny 1. In fact, Destiny 1 didn't have a story. All it had was the lore and the mythos to support it and sustain us until the end of its era. We never got an answer on where the Traveler came from or how this is all going to conclude. We never got an understanding of the Cabal and their setup or their backstory. There was a lot that was left on the table with Destiny 1, and in Destiny 2, I can understand why their focal point is squarely on the Traveler and the Light. So it makes sense now why they wouldn't want to tell us the story of the Exo Stranger, or even Marisov, or even Osiris and Rasputin this early on. We're now getting to focus on the core essence of the game. Now that I'm off script, I know that this video is shorter than most that I've produced before, but that's only because I don't want to spoil anything from the interview that IGN conducted on the story of Destiny 2. I'll continue to cover all things Destiny 2 until the release of the beta, at which point I will be streaming live on twitch.tv. And on that note, that'll wrap up today's episode on Destiny 2's story and some more story. If you have any suggestions or have any thoughts on today's topic, leave a comment below. If you like the content and want to help me out, please like this video and subscribe, and if you want to see more content on this channel and want to be notified of a new video, hit the bell beside the button. As always, Guardians, until next time, good gaming.
I hope people complain about how much story we have at the end of this.
Actually, that would be kind of awesome.
Yeah. That'd be the Reddit thread I'd like to read. It's just too much damn story.